Many thanks for joining us on News Now on TV360 Nigeria. President of the Nigerian Senate, Ahmed Lawan, has met with President Muhammadu Buhari over the worsening security situation across the country. The Senate President briefed State House correspondents after the meeting at the presidential villa in Abuja. Lawan said he briefed the president on the need to provide more funding for security agencies for equipment and to recruit more personnel.
We should do whatever it takes to improve the security situation in the country. And we believe that the Senate and indeed the National Assembly is positively disposed to receiving even supplementary budget, purposely to address the fundamental needs of the security agencies of our country so that we are able to empower them, enable them to fight the Boko Haram in the northeast, banditry, and other security challenges across the country. So this is one. Secondly, we also believe that in the Senate, particularly, we believe that we need to provide more resources for recruitment by the security agencies. The Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the police, the immigration, the paramilitary generally need to also have more manpower and personnel. And this is not something that we can get on a platter of gold. Whoever wants to make an omelette will have to break eggs. Section 14, subsection 2B of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is very categorical and crystal clear that the purpose of government shall be to provide welfare, security and welfare, to provide for welfare, security and welfare of the people. And therefore, we have no luxury of any option other than to ensure that we address the security challenges more than any other thing.
The Senate President, however, added that any of the security chiefs found short of expectations after the support provided by the government should be relieved of his duties. Residents of the Ruwan Tufa community said the death toll from Sunday's attack has risen to 23. It was gathered that the residents got a hint of the planned attack 3 days before and were shocked that despite alerting relevant authorities, the armed bandits attacked the community unchallenged. The state police had confirmed that not more than 10 people were killed in the attack on the community, which is in Dansado district of Mari local government area. In a contrary report, residents of the community said some of the injured people were taken to Dansado hospital and they died, while some of the bodies of slain residents were also found in the bush, thus raising the death toll. Scores of the residents were still receiving treatment at Dansado hospital as of Sunday evening. Dozens of stores and property have been destroyed following a fire outbreak at the popular Oba Market in Benin City, Edo State. Eyewitnesses say the fire started at about midnight on Sunday and efforts are still ongoing to pull it out. The cause of the inferno is yet to be confirmed. Federal Fire Service Zone K tweeted that men of the Federal Fire Service in Edo State Command had turned out to combat the raging inferno at Oba Market Ring Road in Benin. The tweet also added that officials from the Nigerian Army, Nigerian Air Force, NPDC, the Uniben Fire Service were also on ground to put it out. 2 persons were confirmed dead while several others were injured after 2 petrol-laden tankers went up in flames at the Kara Bridge end of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway on Sunday. The accident also involved a truck conveying compressed natural gas and a Dangote cement truck. The vehicles were traveling out of Lagos when the driver of one of the petrol-laden tankers lost control while trying to overtake the other tanker. It was gathered that one of the tankers crashed into the cement and the CNG trucks and drivers of the petrol tankers died in the explosion that followed around 1 a.m. The All Progressives Congress and Governor Godwin Obaseki administration in Edo State are set for a showdown over the APC primary election holding today in 192 wards of the state. Edo State APC Governorship Election Committee, headed by Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma, which on Sunday released guidelines for the party primary election, insisted that the exercise would hold in all 192 wards in the state. But the state government said in compliance with its COVID-19 law, the APC must apply for a waiver before organizing a political gathering in any part of the state. It's alleged that the APC had imported thugs into Edo with the aim of causing destruction of lives and property. The state government had on May 28 gazetted regulations aimed at preventing the spread of COVID-19 diseases, including infectious diseases, including COVID-19. Following the demolition of the Nigerian High Commission building in Accra, Ghana's Ministry of Foreign Affairs has apologized to the Nigerian government over what it termed as an attack. It was gathered that some armed men allegedly invaded the building of the Ghanaian capital on Friday evening, destroying some apartments under construction. In a press statement, Ghana's Foreign Affairs Ministry said it views the act as a breach of the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, an international treaty that defines a framework for diplomatic relations between countries. The ministry, who expressed regret over the attack in a statement, said investigations are ongoing to unravel the facts of the matter and bring perpetrators to book. We'll take a break now and return with COVID-19 updates. Do stay with us. Nigeria's COVID-19 cases have exceeded 20,000 as the country recorded 436 new infections on Sunday. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC), who disclosed this in a late-night tweet, noted that of the new cases, 169 were recorded in Lagos, 52 in Oyo, and 31 in Plateau. The NCDC also noted that a total of 6,879 patients have recovered and have been discharged, while the death toll now stands at 518. Two top officials of the Delta State government have tested positive to COVID-19 as the state intensifies efforts at combating the spread of the virus. The officials are Secretary to the State Government, Chiedu Ibe, and the Commissioner for Information, Charles Anyago. The announcement was made on Sunday morning via the Twitter handle of the state government. Both officials were said to have exhibited mild symptoms and decided to have their samples tested for COVID-19. The tweet added that they have now been moved to an isolation center, are stable and responding well to treatment. Chief Press Secretary to the State Governor, Olisa Ifeajika, called on residents of the state to adhere strictly to the COVID-19 protocols, as anyone, irrespective of status, could contract the virus. The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has announced that 45 more coronavirus patients have been discharged in the state. This brings the total number of COVID-19 recoveries in Lagos to 1,328. Sanwo-Olu explains that the persons discharged from the government facilities comprise of 18 females and 27 males. The governor said they were discharged to reunite with the society after receiving treatment and tested negative to COVID-19 in 6 isolation centers. A breakdown of the figure shows that 20 people were discharged in Bagada, 9 in Oniko, and 2 others recovered at the Mainland Infectious Disease Hospital in Yaba. 1 each was also released from the facilities in Agidingbi and Lekki, and 12 others from the COVID-19 treatment center at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, Luth. Moving on now. A survivor of COVID-19 in Nigeria is actively advocating for an end to stigmatization following his recovery from the disease. Emmanuel Asika is appealing to Nigerians to disregard rumors that the virus is not real and take more responsibility in adhering to safety guidelines in order to stop the spread of the disease.
Indeed, all over the world, I understand as well that we are challenged because the people who have recovered are not coming out as they should to talk about their experiences. So if you look at it from that angle, you realize that maybe in a sense people are rightfully doubtful of a lot of these of the COVID-19 pandemic. But then again, I have been personally affected. I have seen a cousin die, I've seen an in-law die. I have personally been infected. I've seen loved ones of mine who have also been infected. So for me, I would say that people need to, and that's one reason why we're coming out, people need to see faces that they know, uncles, aunties, friends, colleagues, And that's one of the reasons why we're out there saying, look, we're people, we're faces, we're not just numbers, we're the people who have gone through the process, we've come out, and then we have a message, a strong message to pass across in terms of how do you survive it, and then how do you deal with it when you go through the process. So for me, it is real. People should understand that it is highly contractable.
5 players from Serbian club Red Star Belgrade have tested positive for COVID-19. The COVID-19 test results came back positive after they played a match attended by 16,000 people, the largest gathering of that kind in Europe since the beginning of the pandemic. In a statement, Red Star said the players feel well, are in strict isolation and in permanent contact with the medical team of the club. The Serbian League resumed on May 29th, initially behind closed doors, before the government further eased restrictions. We'll be right back after this break. Do stay with us. The Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria and Nigeria Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers have threatened to embark on a nationwide strike if the federal government insists on registering employees in the oil sector on the integrated payroll and personnel information system. The associations made the threat in a letter jointly signed by the General Secretaries of Pengassan and Nupeng, respectively addressed to the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Simpre Silva. The union said their apprehension about the IPPIS platform stemmed from the fact that it discountenanced the peculiarities of the oil and gas sector with regards to collective bargaining agreement and approved pay structure between the unions and the federal government. At least 7 people have died in 2 separate bomb explosions in southern and central Somalia in the last 24 hours. In the first incident, 4 people, including soldiers and civilians, were killed when 2 bombs planted in front of the house of a military official exploded late on Sunday. 3 soldiers were also killed, with 2 others wounded after 3 militants in a car carried out a suicide bomb attack at a military checkpoint in the second incident on Sunday. No group has claimed responsibility, but such attacks are common in Somalia, where Islamist militant organization Al-Shabaab have been waging a 12-year campaign to topple the central government. And to news and sports, Napoli has reportedly rejected Liverpool's opening bid of €58 million for Kalidou Koulibaly. The Senegal international has also been linked with the Manchester United in recent weeks. However, their package is still short of Napoli's €90 million asking price for the central defender, and the Serie A outfit are unlikely to sanction his sale to the Merseyside outfit. Koulibaly signed a 5-year contract with the Italian club in September 2016, keeping him at Napoli until 2021, meaning he has a year left on his current contract. The centre-back has struggled with thigh issues during the current campaign, but he still made 23 appearances for Napoli across all competition. He recently helped the club win their first trophy since 2014. And that's it on the newsroom on TV360 Nigeria. Bye for now.